After the podcast, do you have any plans? I mean, are you doing anything?
Where are you going with this?
Well, I'm just wondering. Do you like fucking?
What?
Fucking.
Apparently, we're going to be reading some instructional videos on how to play PixelJunk games.
No, I'm just saying, do you enjoy fucking?
Sure.
I haven't heard
Is
this one.
kin
You don't
like
know?
bacteria?
No.
Yeah, no.
This is what all of my Tokyo friends refer to for first kitchen. Fasuto kitchen is fucking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, first kitchen is fucking.
Wow.
The first kitchen is a restaurant. It's like a cheap.
First
They all
kitchen,
call it fucking
first
cheap.
kitchen, not so great actually.
Yeah, it's not.
not so
It's
great,
not.
it's not so great.
Super cheap. Like no.
Hamburger sort of
They
thing.
call it fucking.
Really?
Fasuto kitchen.
Wow,
Fucking.
that is weird.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Actually, that was instructional.
Yeah.
And-
So to go on this, so they do create these like combined words. So we were talking about now there's this Google Plus, right? And so it's not going to be called Google Plus for very long in Japanese. It's too long, too difficult to pronounce for them. So it's going to become something like
Goopla?
Gupu or
Yeah.
or Goopla or
Yeah.
Goopoo.
Goopoo. Goopoo.
It might be Goop. Yeah.
It could
But
be
we don't
From
know.
the
We don't know.
Frappuccino machine.
It will come out naturally. Like it'll be the word will.
Of course it
develop.
will.
Yeah, that's what she said. But,
Yeah, after about 5 minutes, it just rolls off the tongue.
Exactly, yeah. But these words, you can't really guess what they'll be. Sometimes they become like, like fucking. It's
Yeah.
like, they become these words that you wouldn't expect them to become.
I like how your voice got so much softer. You're like, oh, the words become fucking.
I always say that word in a soft voice.
Yeah.
It works better.
Okay, so I guess without further ado, this is happy fucking birthday
Oh, yeah, first
off
kitchen.
of the HFB PixelJunk album. You can get that on iTunes or the PS Network if you're in America, and if you're not in America, you can get that online. Okay, so that was
So
happy.
PSN was down, it sucks.
That was happy fucking. Oh shit. That was happy funkin' birthday from the HFE PixelJunk album. And now that we're back from the break, I thought we could sit down and talk about the PSN outage. Great PSN outage of 2012. Now,
2011.
oh yeah, that's
Was that a prediction?
Yeah.
Was that prediction? That was like
No,
Nostradamus.
that was not. I did not.
Seriously,
I think that's actually fairly accurate. I'm sure there will go down next year.
It's possible.
Did you just say, well, never mind.
No.
Oh.
Shaman.
I'm restraining myself.
How many times have we said that?
Yeah.
This podcast.
I don't know.
It's getting tiring.
From here right now, I ban the usage of that's what she said, that's what he said, that's what it's that like whatever
Right.
sort of variation of that.
Okay.
So the network was down for how many months was it out in Japan?
3 months.
Too many.
In Japan.
3
Okay.
months.
The store, the network, the matching services have been restored after about.
Yeah, but that's not much use to us.
Yeah, precisely. So this is the crux of the matter that this was a tragic issue for Sony. This was a tragic issue for those who were trying to connect to the PSN to try to play games with friends. But what a lot, and this is the case with Sony as well, that we can't make any money when the PlayStation store
Exactly.
is down.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, is it? Really.
This is a horrible situation.
So basically, with the Japanese store down, so we've lost basically 1 quarter's worth of income from Japan for 3 months. That's actually
We put out the ads in Famitsu.
Yeah.
We had a whole series of ads running in Famitsu that were brilliant, by the way. I'm sure you can find those scans on the internet. I know I've tweeted about some of them, but it's just some great pictures of Dylan with some Maiko, which are the apprentice geishas.
Oh yes, yeah.
Great pictures. They were pretty funny ads, and of course, they were in the magazine when you could not buy the game.
Yeah, when you couldn't buy the game. Yeah, so it was a bit annoying.
Without like delving too far into like corporate matters that aren't all that interesting, I think there's a perception in the West of PixelJunk as being a very Western focused sort of game developer.
Yeah.
How much Japanese domestic market business do you get in the big scheme of things?
I mean, it's not that large, but it is like a constant income though.
Yeah.
Like a monthly constant amount of money.
And it's something that we're trying to...
It's probably about 1/10 or 1/8 of the West, though, in total.
I mean, it's something that we want to try to tap into the market.
Like, but there's a core popularity there. It's not like PixelJunk games are just made for the West or whatever.
No. We have some real like hardcore fans in Japan.
Especially with Shooter 2. I think
shooters like Monsters as well, like
Yeah, there's a market there, and I think we were really trying to get out and touch that market by getting. This was the first time we decided to put ads in Famitsu.
It was, yes.
And it was kind of
disappointing.
But the good news is next time you get a review, you'll have much better scores.
Well, yes. Is that a little commentary on Famitsu there?
Yes, I think we all know what that is.
Yes.
Shame for shame.
Yeah, but it kind of sucks because we're getting screwed in Japan by PSN being out, then we get screwed in America by the exchange rate.
Yeah,
I mean that's a whole different subject.
That's also a bit crap, isn't it? So even now, our biggest market is in the West, but because the American economy is just so f***ed up, that I mean today isn't it 88 yen?
70.
78,
78, yeah.
It's 78 yen, which is like ridiculous.
It's down under 80 now.
Oh, yeah, it's down to 79 now. It's 78.
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course that's our exchange rate, which means that all the dollar income, all the Western income, has been reduced by 30% since we started PixelJunk.
Wow.
Without, it's quite a big amount of money, really.
Well, that's some interesting commentary about the state of video games in the first place. You see a bunch of smaller to mid-sized developers here in Japan just like market to the Japanese audience.
Yeah.
And imagine like if they want to like market that game to an American audience, spend a lot of effort in marketing to an American audience. If it doesn't catch on, then they're going to end up losing a lot of money.
Oh, exactly.
It's like localization.
For perspective, for folks who don't know this stuff, it used to be held that widely held that anything below 90 yen to the dollar was considered economic catastrophe.
Yeah.
So we're well below that threshold, which is why there's been a number of talks about the Japanese government stepping in to stabilize the yen. And none of those things have happened, but so it's a very dire situation for international businesses.
No, completely.
Yeah. Since 2001, I've never seen it below 120 yen to the dollar.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden in like 2008, 2009,
me too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice when sending money back, like from yen to dollars, if you want to send something back to America.
Let's not relocate the company.
Yeah, frustrating is like if you think about like the so we have to sell 30% more games to break even now.
Yeah.
On each title, which is just ridiculous, isn't it? Really?
That is ridiculous.
Unless we want to keep the money in America and just not touch it for the next 10 years.
I try and keep it in dollars for as long as I can.
Until you see an opportunity to...
Yeah.
It's such a shame. And like ultimately, the hackers are the ones who were responsible for the attack on the PSN. But at the same time, we're not... Like, we're kind of out in the dark.
Exactly.
We're not first party, we're not third party, we're this weird situation with Sony.
Yeah, we're kind of self-developing.
Yeah, we're not getting any funding from them.
Or any reimbursement or anything, really.
So it's like, we don't really know what's going to happen.
Yes, yeah. Well, apart from, we can try and ask people to buy our games, I suppose.
Yeah,
because they're worth it.
Yeah.
They're worth it.
You can put them on Xbox.
Well,
Oh God!
Dylan and Jamin are not Xbox fans.
Fix up my resume real quick.
Here's the thing, though.
It's not big in Japan. That's the problem. You can't ask Japanese people to work on a platform that isn't popular in their own country.
Yeah, no, Japanese people really hate hardware.
Or you'd be popular. You'd be popular in the States on there.
Yeah, but it's just we're a Japanese company, so.
But
in spirit. So.
That brings up a really good point in that, like, we can't say anything about what we may or may not be doing in the future, but I think it's going to be pretty obvious that we're going to see a lot of developers who were, PS exclusive games. They're going to go to different
platforms. Maybe not to XBLA, but
maybe not to XBLA. Maybe certainly
iPhone and
go into social games. You never know. And I think that's going to be a big trend over the next year.
Unfortunately, unless Sony can turn it, they need to turn the tide, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Well, it's just never a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket anyway.
Certainly.
So.
Precisely.
Certainly. Because, and no
matter
Xbox
how
Live.
awesome that basket's hardware.
Well, and this could happen with XBLA games as well. I mean, that system can be attacked, and that service can go down for months. You never know.
You don't know.
You never know, and it's totally possible that that could happen. And maybe those developers are going to be, moving cross. I mean, the Limbo guys, they're moving to the PlayStation 3.
Although the one thing I really disagree with in the gaming industry is cross-platform development. Like making the same game for both PS3 and Xbox. Like if it's a full price game or whatever. I mean, sure they have to do it to make the money back or whatever. But as a developer, it's just the worst thing you want to be doing is cross-platform development. It's just not fun at all. You can't push.
You're right for two platforms. You maximize neither.
Yeah.
Someone on Twitter.
Where's the fun in that? As a developer, I mean.
As a
actually, someone on Twitter said something really funny.
As a developer, even artists,
God,
they have to deal with both platforms. It's a pain in the ass.
I can't remember who it was. One of my friends. He said something like, "Oh, I don't mind multi-platform development at all, as long as the number of platforms equals 1."
Yeah.
I'm like, that sums it up right there.
Yeah. I mean, we're developers, so we only want to develop what we want to make. So, sure, the large publishers have to do that, but I can't think of any developer who would actually say, I want to make cross-platform games. It's just
I want something that runs fast on the SPUs and on the Xbox 360. It's like it's extra work. And
I think that's very much a programmer's perspective.
No. It's a developer's perspective. Why would you do it? If you're a creator,
the only reason you would do it is because you want as many people as you want to play.
Certainly, if the publisher is giving you milestone checks, then
no, but that's a publisher thing. So the publisher wants to do it. But
if you don't have a big publisher that's giving you those milestone checks, then actually selling games to a wider audience by going cross-platform
is not what you want to do.
Might be a good business decision.
But it's not what you want to do. It ruins your creativity. It's like you'll end up spending half your time doing that, rather than making up good games. So it's just not what you want to do. So.
I mean, to be honest, if you look at Shooter, like the amount of work that we put into the particle system and the lighting and stuff like that, I mean, to have to actually make that, not just so that it runs, because we have a PC version we use for testing that it runs, but to make it so that it runs at a full frame rate and is polished and all this other crap.
The quality required.
It's quadruple the work and it's not fun.
Well,
because you've already done it.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do it again? It's just as a creator.
I can understand that it might stifle creativity, but I think there are some games. There are some games where you wouldn't run into that exact same problem.
Yes, if you're doing a Mario game that's nothing but sprites, you can just be like draw sprite and either one. That's fine. But if you're trying to actually maximize the hardware and you're trying to really push things, you don't want to do that for two platforms or more.
But it's just the in general the whole process of finalizing a game like on a platform, like taking it through the final 3 or 4 months is probably the worst part of, well, I mean it's the best part and the worst part of development, because you see the final thing form and you get to make the game. But doing that twice for the same game, it's just like putting yourself through unnecessary hell. It's just like
I understand that.
It's just it shouldn't be what our business is about. It's like Nintendo don't do it, and they're the most creative people on the planet. So I mean, and they make all the best games.
Well, but they make their own hardware.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just it's a creative. It's almost like a moral decision. It's a creative decision. It's like if you open that door, it's like game developers in Japan when they start doing pachinko work.
But actually, I'm going to say that Nintendo is probably one of the worst people to bring up in that situation, because they resell their games after every new hardware iteration. You have Zelda recently released. I mean, Star Fox 64. I mean, it's like, it was one of my favorite games ever.
No, but that's not a port. That's a complete remake. Zelda is a complete remake.
It is a remake, but it's still like...
No, it's not. That's completely different. Because you're talking there about like a year and a half of work that's gone into that and made a new product out of it.
But it's not completely new.